For your safety, please stand behind the yellow line. Please stand on the line. On the line.
So there are some concerns recently because we're actually recording here at Golden Mile. And it's been on the news recently. So did that change your mind about getting a jab?
No, being in Golden Mile, I mean, because we did our recording at Golden Mile, I don't think it affects whether I'm going to take a jab or not. But it's the news, or rather like listening to news and watching people around me getting vaccinated recently, definitely affected my decision. It's definitely affecting my decision to take the jab or not.
Okay, which particular news are you talking about? Okay, first, let's take your stand first.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
correct.
Let's update. Okay, I have taken one jab as of this recording.
Okay, so Andrew has already taken one jab.
Right.
Jada,
Waiting for the next one.
zero.
And you have already registered your interest?
I've registered my interest, but I've not selected a time, nor have I selected a slot. And I'm currently, the status is undecided.
There should be a new status on, I don't know, our passport or something.
You get that on your Trace Together app, you know,
Yes,
like
yes,
the
yes.
moment you are vaccinated.
Yeah, so I'm halfway there, it
Right.
says something like that.
Yeah. So sorry, just now, Andrew, you were sharing with everyone that, you know, we were at Golden Mile, right? So the context is that, you know, we started doing this podcast about 2 weeks ago, and just so happened that 2 weeks ago in Singapore, all the COVID cases started spiking up, and it was all linked to the KTV clusters, of which one of it is at Golden Mile.
Although technically there shouldn't be too much overlap. I mean, we weren't here at night, you know, so it's a close shave, but being in the proximity, being in the vicinity, like we're here, and the location is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it does bring me some concerns, especially because in my line of work, right, I have to like work with several people. Like I still have to go to work. I can't work from home, and we have to do video shoots and all that. I have to meet my colleagues. So it does give me some concerns. Like I mean, okay, it's a bad thing if you contract COVID yourself, but if you spread it to other people, like, it's not something I can put on my conscience.
What do you do about your concern?
Right?
Do you go get tested?
We're still okay. I do have the self-test kit at home, so that anytime I can go get a self-test. But the thing is, I think for safety's sake, and because our company is slightly more careful, so like if anything happens, you should like stay home and then like get a test to make sure you're okay, and then go back to work.
Okay, so you took a self-test.
I did a self-test as well.
Was it negative?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm fine. I'm okay. But I can feel the whole, you know, like sometimes I wonder if it's psychological or if you call it psychosomatics, in which like you feel unwell, and then it's like, is it because I'm reading too much of the news? You know, I'm like overthinking, am I worrying too much?
So Andrew, remember like the moment the whole KTV thing came up and Golden Mile was one of it, immediately like I can't remember what it was. I texted you as like, oh no, we are at the same place.
Right, and then
what should we do?
I replied saying that, you know, if something really happens, I find it hard to explain also. Like, how am I going to tell people, Andrew, you go to mall, do podcast recording, you sure or not?
You can say that you went to buy mango.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a video recording. But this is evidence that I'm really here to do a podcast recording.
Yeah. Hey, but I want to answer what you said about like the
psychosomatics or psychological aspect of thinking you're sick.
Yeah. Because subsequently after that, I did feel like I had a little bit of a sore throat.
Yeah, do you think it's psychological or like it's physical? Like
I think it's
real
definitely
sore throat?
Okay, I had a sore throat, I think. But then I can't help but wonder, oh no, is it because I was at Golden Mile? Did I catch something? So along with that, like if I typically get a sore throat, I wouldn't think much about it, right? I'll take honey and then that's it. But then now I'll be worried, okay, is this COVID? Is this COVID related? Should I go get tested? Definitely I think whenever anybody feels having a little bit of flu, a slight fever, you will begin to wonder if it's COVID related. I think it's all psychologically linked.
And I don't think it's just about you being careful about your own health, but really it's about your family, you know, people around you. People you have to meet, and you know, if you get it, that's too bad. But if you spread it to people, that's even worse.
Actually, coming to that, Andrew, can I ask what got you to get vaccinated? I mean, I know that you've taken one shot so far, right?
Okay. Maybe I should clarify my stand a bit further. So, I always knew that I'm going to get vaccinated. Like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Okay, and however, because I am not in the high risk group in terms of age, so I am very chill about it. Like I don't mind getting it later. Okay, so although there's an opportunity to get it earlier in my company, but because of work, I can't do it. Because of work, I postponed it, and in the end, I got it at the same time as other people in my age group. So I knew I'm getting it. It's just maybe there's a bit of procrastination in the sense that I'm not really urgent, but I do know that I'm eventually going to get it.
Okay. Why?
Why?
Like, what gives you that confidence to say, I know for sure I'm going to take it? Like that certainty. Because I'm not certain, which is why I'm like, I said my status is undecided, right?
Yeah, let's go to that first. Like, what makes you uncertain?
Because it's not tested.
Okay, so there's the speed of coming out of this vaccine. That's one.
Yeah. And because it's untested, I think that's the main reason why
Although the word untested can be, argued against.
I know. Yeah. But first I have to say I'm not. This is just my personal stand, right? This is not me saying that no, everyone shouldn't, get vaccinated. I don't. That's my personal stand. And I just standing with it is, I don't know what's the risk.
Okay, so there's no long-term risk profiling,
Correct.
Understanding the effects in the long term, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I say if I want to take that, maybe I'll take one of the non-mRNA, which is like either the Sinovac.
Right.
And I'm thinking maybe I'll wait for the Novavax one to come out.
Okay.
So at least I feel
because this is based on more how traditional vaccines are created.
Correct. So I thought I will wait for those vaccines.
Okay, so there's uncertainty, which is a legit concern.
Yeah, but these days I'm like being swayed because I'm feeling the social pressure, to be honest.
Where's the pressure coming from?
Like everyone around me is vaccinated.
Okay.
And it's like, I think plus the fact that these days government is saying that if you are vaccinated then you can gather in bigger groups. Of course the travel passport thing, there's definitely an
incentive, motivation.
Right? I think also I have to share so last week because of all the increase in COVID cases, I was watching the news and there was this doctor that's always being interviewed on
Dr. Leong, right? So it's him.
Is it Dr. Leong?
Because you're watching a Chinese media?
Channel 8.
Right. Usually they get him.
Yeah, so they were asking him, why is it that we are going back to heightened alert restrictions now, right?
Okay.
And he said something. He said, the reason why we are going back to heightened alert is to protect those that have not been vaccinated.
Oh, by the way, we're talking about the second phase 2 heightened alert. I know you're all confused about the different phases really.
Okay.
In terms of the timeline.
Yeah.
But we're at the end of July right now.
Correct.
Doing this recording.
So basically it means no dining in, right?
Restricted
to no dining in. You can't go out in more than groups of 2. So his comment is, we are going back to heightened alert because we are protecting those that is not vaccinated.
Okay, and you feel guilty.
I did.
Guilt tripping at some level. Not saying it's guilt tripping, but when you hear something like that, you feel guilty.
Yeah, okay. Immediately I went like, oh no, I'm causing everybody else to be restricted because they are trying to protect me.
Biden said the same thing.
Oh, what did he say?
He said something along the line of, it is a pandemic among the unvaccinated. It is only a pandemic among the unvaccinated.
Do you think there's some truth to the statement? What do you think about that?
So circling back to my own reasons, because I don't have a distrust of the vaccine or the authorities. I don't have conspiracy theories about why it doesn't work and all that. And although we don't know the long-term effects, but I know people smarter than me have done their research on it, including our own local authorities. So I try to read up on it, but we're not experts, right? I try to read on mRNA to understand what's being injected into my body. But of course, I don't understand the intricacies of it because I'm not in medicine. I don't know anything about medical health and research. But I try to keep up, I try to educate myself as much as I can, and I just don't see the reason why I should take it.
Okay. So you are not worried about the long-term effects because there is trust in the people who have done the research.
I think there's a certain level of worry. It's always the unknown, the uncertain.
Okay.
Yeah. I also read somewhere, for some people who are hesitating to take the vaccines, is because, right, like you don't know the long-term effects. So then I'll tell you, okay, but what if you contract COVID? Then the difference in psychology behind that is that you are volunteering to take the vaccine. Whereas if you get COVID, it's like a by chance or by luck. Right? You can kind of stop going out as often, or you can wear a mask, you can prevent yourself from getting COVID. But if you are going for the vaccine, and if anything bad happens to you in future, you volunteered for it. You willingly went to take the vaccine. Whereas COVID is like a by chance or by luck kind of thing. So that's the difference in psychology. And I can't argue against that. You know, for people who are, for you, if you're still undecided.
Okay, I've got a friend that's not. He's staying in Malaysia together with his family. I just spoke with him earlier today, and he also said that he did not take the vaccine, and he had a family debate about it, and the whole family decided, okay, don't take the vaccine.
Oh, the whole family decided not to take it?
I mean, husband and wife, but the kids, of course, then it's too young. I mean, so it's a family decision not to take. But then his reasoning is also backed up by the fact that he also don't go out and interact with people. So they are at minimal risk to being exposed. So he says, since I don't know the long-term effect, that already is me uncertain, right, about the vaccination. Plus the fact that I'm also not really exposed because I don't go out. So he doesn't really go out. He said his wife only went out once in 4 weeks or something like that. Once in home.
So I think it will be a family drama if like one party wants to take it and the other doesn't.
Correct. But then, I mean, of course, they make
decided.
the collective decision too.
Okay, but the Golden Mile thing did get me more convinced on taking the vaccine because my original stand was I don't mind taking it. I'm just not in a hurry, right? So, but when the whole incident happened and I am already scheduled to take my vaccine, I feel like, oh, okay, it's good that I'm taking the vaccine at this point in time, especially when the numbers are rising during this period of time. This is quite different from the previous increase in numbers during the dorms, because that was kind of still contained within the dorms, and it was the first time. And now it's like this is almost like a second wave, or some call it third wave, but it's spreading around the community. You know, KTV, and then there's a drone port fishery and all that. So it feels different in that sense.
Are you worried that the chance of getting exposed is higher for yourself?
That and actually spreading it to my friends or people I know.
Okay.
It's more of that.
Are all your friends vaccinated?
Mostly, I think many people in my company are vaccinated.
Okay.
Right.
Same for mine. So I mean, same for me. A lot of my friends and family. In fact, all my family members are vaccinated.
So they'll talk about like going out, because there's the whole checking if the group of 5, like you all have to be vaccinated, right? So do your friends tell you, hey Jada, next time I cannot eat with you?
Yeah, I know. Of course, that also adds to the social pressure. That's what I meant by social pressure also, right?
Right.
My family says the same thing too, right? Like, oh, we better go eat now before next time they have that rule about
we have to leave you out, they have to dine at home.
To be honest, I don't really care about being left alone.
Right, okay.
Able to eat together.
That's not the incentive for you to take it.
Yes, but I think fundamentally you still feel the pressure, because you like everyone around you has done it, has got vaccinated.
I think it's important to talk about like you're not an anti-vaxxer. Okay, there's one.
I'm not.
Right, because on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who truly distrust the authorities or have a deep distrust of
conspiracy theory about like big pharmaceutical companies, right? Trying to
right. Of course, if you take it more extreme, there are people who tell you that the whole COVID thing is a hoax. Okay,
yes,
that's one end of the spectrum, right? So I think it's important to get the point of view of people like you. You're not against it, but you're just like, okay, you'll be uncertain, and the general trend is that we want to encourage as many people as possible to take it, or at least that's the government stance.
Yes.
So I think it's important to talk to those in the middle, like yourself. It's not like you're anti-vaccine, but to bring out your point of view and to address the concerns.
I mean, I can speak for the others, right? My only position is that because I'm very scared to fall into group think. I'm very scared to follow the herd. Because everybody is doing it, then I have to do the same. I don't want to I don't want to make my decision on whether to take the vaccine or not, simply because everyone else is doing the same. So unless I get enough information and certainty on my own side, right, to say that there's no risk, it's okay, then I feel I can make a more empowered decision. But now my decision making is based on everyone going hey, just do it lah.
Mm.
I find that a difficult reason to take the vaccine.
Okay, and to address your own concerns, you mentioned also like you can read up, but it's hard to read up about the long-term effects until long-term comes.
Yeah.
Because there's no long-term right
That's
now.
it. That's it. So my dilemma is, cannot just wait long. Don't go out. Don't go out as much. Even though I'm not again, I go to mouth.
Okay.
Don't go out as
Does
much.
that, because it affected me in a sense that okay, it reaffirmed my decision to take the vaccine because you never know when you could be exposed, but that doesn't have the same effect on you.
No, only the social pressure has that effect on me.
Oh, but I guess social
The
pressure.
guilt lah, the guilt.
Okay.
The guilt.
Okay,
That people
but
are.
in a way, we
having
don't want you to feel guilty and do it, right?
Of course,
In a way.
Yeah. So I was very close to, because after I hear the doctor say, we are doing this because we need to protect the unvaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took out my phone, opened the registration link, find the time slot, find the dates. I almost pressed submit. I was really just left with pressing the submit. I was really okay. I was already thinking, okay, never mind, just go ahead and get vaccinated. Don't think so much. Everybody else is already doing it, right? And plus, you don't want to feel guilty.
Well, you're kind of more than half of the population in Singapore has taken the vaccine.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in the so-called minority.
Yes. And so then I still didn't press the submit button simply because I feel my decision is made because of social pressure instead of me being certain.
So the doctor's words have an effect on you to a certain extent. You got to the page and you chose the dates. You just didn't press submit.
Yeah.
Because the last thing that's holding you back is you don't want to do it. You don't want to cave into social pressure. You want to be certain. The decision has come from you.
Yeah.
What do you think must happen, or what information do you need in order for you to come to that decision?
No, right now there's no way we're going to wait 5-10 years, right? It's not going to happen. I mean, COVID.
Hopefully it's over by then.
Yeah, correct, right?
Or endemic, like they call it.
Correct. So my decision is to just wait for other non-mRNA vaccines to come in. Yeah, but this friend of mine that I was speaking with this morning, the family that decided not to get vaccinated, he's saying, in any type of experiment, you need the other as the control group. So
are you my control group right now? 10 years later, we'll do a podcast and I'm a zombie. The vaccine, joking, you get it, it's a joke, right? Like we all become, the Walking Dead, right?
So I'm like, okay, that sounds like a very good reasoning. Okay, I'll be the control group in this experiment then.
Actually, I think that's why, I'm just trying to come up with my own theory. Maybe that's why the government is getting the Novavax. Because it's based on the traditional way of creating a vaccine. Like, they know people have concerns. They know people like yourself have concerns. You're not on the extreme end of the spectrum, but you're just uncertain in the middle. Yeah. And so maybe Novavax is the way for you.
Maybe. Hopefully they get that in soon enough so that I can get it in time for any travel passport coming along.
And at the same time, there's some form of herd immunity because people are getting it.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't wish that on people.
Yeah.
But that's the way diseases work, right? Herd immunity, vaccination, people who are immune, and then it all comes together.
So Andrew, please go quickly get your second shot.
It's scheduled for you. It's scheduled for you, and you just go for it.
Yeah. So you help me control the other side. You help me push the herd immunity.
Yeah,
and then I'll be the.
I'm really considered the later ones because among my colleagues have taken it. Taken it really early. So in a way, I've waited a few more weeks maybe compared to them to gather more data, so to speak. I read the news to see if there's any updates and all that.
Yeah. But actually, to be really honest, like beyond what's provided on the news, right? Unless you really go do research and understand what's all those technology that they're using, it's very difficult.
It's so
Anything
new.
on the news is all marketing. Come on, is it?
Okay, so you're saying there's some form of propaganda. Not every outlet but there's some form of propaganda.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, our country stand is to get vaccinated. Definitely.
Okay. So your next plan of action is to wait it out.
Stay home. Stay home, tap out in.
You do have work, right? In a way. Okay, you conduct your training through Zoom.
Yes, I do it through Zoom. Yeah, so the only time I come out is if I have to meet you at Golden Mile to do our podcast recording.
Very dangerous place. No, I think in fact I think it's the safest place right now because they have really closed down the KTVs, and then they should have done some form of like cleaning,
Okay.
sterilization. It should be the
Okay. So people can come back to
the
Golden
most
Mile now.
dangerous place is the safest place. Come to Golden Mile. There are good mangoes and Thai food.
That's true. That's true.
Mm.
Yeah. So the strategy is just to stay home for now till COVID. Till the rest of you guys help us to get immunity. Thank you for sacrificing your body as experiment.